Hello and welcome to the Storytelling for the Soul podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Kanata, and this is the place we talk about all things expressive writing and other creative techniques, all with a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer thrown in. Buckle up and enjoy. Hello and welcome back to another episode. It has been a long time since I grabbed the mic and recorded any content. So apologies for this. I am back. I am here. My commitment is to be much more consistent. And I'm going to start with a little bit of an experiment. So for the next month, I'm actually going to release one, I'm going to call it micro episode per day. I don't want these to be too long, but I do want the content to provide a bunch of value for you. So if you are here, if you are listening, thank you so much. As an interesting aside, I'm actually looking out my window at the moment as I am recording, and I can see a massive rainbow. So I'm going to take that as a sign that the universe wants me to record content to help you. Because here's the thing, my inconsistency with podcasting is not dissimilar to what people face when trying to start a journaling habit. We all have those things in life that we know are beneficial for us. We might know all the science behind it, or at the very least, have heard about the benefits of things like journaling. Getting ourselves to do it is just a little bit challenging. And I figured out that everybody has this in some aspect of their life. Now for me, I don't struggle to do my journaling or get to the gym or meditate daily. However, things like podcasting and other things I do struggle with. So if this is you, if I'm describing you, know that the struggle is here. It is real. I'm not here to judge you. But I do want to help you because this is the thing. I know with every fiber of my being that journaling, regardless of what situation you find yourself in, can be beneficial to you. Now, from the outset, I want to be clear. I do not advocate for standard journaling. And when I say journaling, I'm also not talking about having 30 minutes every day, surrounding yourself with epic stationery, essential oils, the perfect setting. That's a very romanticized notion of journaling. And let's face it, for the majority of us, it's completely unrealistic. Now, I work with women 35 plus, time poor. They are juggling multiple things: kids, elderly parents, a job, a business. There could be a myriad of things going on. So when I talk about journaling, know that I am talking about finding pockets of 5 to 10 minutes within your day where you can whip out your journal, pen, paper. That's it. You don't need anything else. You don't need anything fancy. Yes, journal prompts can be helpful, especially when you are starting out the habit and building the practice. But you do not need anything more. So, I always say I teach journaling with a twist. So when I talk about journaling, what I'm not talking about is a massive brain dump. And I'm also using the term journaling quite liberally. It looks different for everyone. For me, it might look like pages and pages. For you, it might look like words. It might look like scribbles. It might look like disjointed sentences that make no sense if you read them back. Think big picture here. Think outside the box. This practice is your practice. You can make it whatever you want to make it. That's the beauty of what I teach. Also, the other important thing attached to my method of teaching is that we are connecting with our body. So what we're trying to do through journaling is to increase and raise our awareness levels. So, as we are writing, we are also paying attention and being open and curious to what is happening within our physical body. What do I mean by that? So we know our head is attached to everything from our neck down. But how many of us live 99% of our lives in our head, racing thoughts, moving from one thought to another as we move swiftly through our to-do list? Totally get it. I was that person for many, many years of my life. Our 24/7 modern society values intellect. We've been taught to work through the world this way. It's all well and good until you start feeling completely disconnected with your life, with your body, and hey, newsflash, your body from the neck down is constantly communicating with you on some level. The problem is many of us don't hear what it's saying to us until things get so bad that our body has to scream to us. And how does it do that? Unfortunately, usually with some kind of physical pain. And yes, I speak from experience. My journey with this practice in how I teach it now. So, full disclosure, I've been journaling since I was 12 years old. I love writing. Writing is the one constant in my life. However, when I hit my 30s, I started having crazy gut symptoms. I went and did all of the tests that people recommend in the Western world. Eventually, I ended up with a diagnosis of irritable bowel syndrome and was basically told this is something I have to manage for the rest of my life. Now, if you are unfortunate to have gut symptoms too, you know how life-limiting they can be. So I went on the research hunt and started finding a bunch of information about the body-mind-gut connection, the vagus nerve, the whole deal. Eventually, I stumbled across an organization here in Australia called the Centre for Healing that offered a training called embodied processing. Now, that is a body-based approach to working with trauma. I'm now a certified practitioner in that approach, and I weave it into my journaling. And let me tell you, it has been a game changer, both for me personally, but also with client after client after client after client. So, I always say there are absolutely no rules when it comes to journaling. However, there is a foundation piece, and I teach this as part of my low-cost monthly journal prompts for self-care subscription. It's on offer right now as a 7-day free trial. If you just want to have a look, if you're curious, please use this. This is what I've made this available to everyone for. After the 7 days, it's only $11 a month. I'm talking Australian dollars here. But the one non-negotiable, which is what makes this a safe practice and avoids us accidentally re-traumatizing ourselves as part of the process, is something called a resource. Now, a resource is an embodied processing term. And basically, it is anything that is internal or external to us that can help us to be with, process any sensations, uncomfortable, challenging things that may arise as we are triggered. And you can think of this as something that provides you with safety, comfort, support. If none of those words actually mean anything to you or you don't know what they feel like, and yes, I have worked with people who don't really resonate with the feeling of safety because they've never felt safe. Think of the opposite of overwhelm. So what we're trying to build are tiny pockets of safety, connectedness. And what we do is basically we build on this practice. And I mentioned the subscription because within the subscription, there are 3 guided meditations that can help you to build your resource. And by the way, your resource can be absolutely anything. A pet, a memory, a favorite food, a song. And if you're really struggling, it can be something totally imagined. Because here's the thing. You may be listening to this as someone who is basically on their last resort and is thinking, well, is journaling the one thing that I'm looking for? I encounter many, many people who are in that boat and they've tried basically everything else. And let me be clear, this is not a replacement for professional or medical help and support. This is something that can complement whatever you are doing. I very much vouch for a lifestyle approach when it comes to complementing anyone's healing journey. Anyone who's been through anything knows that, sadly, that magic fix or the quick pill you're searching for does not exist. Trust me, I would have found it if it did. But modalities like embodied processing, processes like journaling, things like meditation, things like movement, dance, art, whatever floats your boat, they can certainly complement and help you out. Now, the thing with journaling is it's very much like talking. Your body, depending upon what you are exploring, and let me be clear, if this is the first time that you've tried journaling, do not start by examining the most traumatic or stressful event of your life. No, we want to start with something basic, something more along the lines of, what am I grateful for today? What is one positive thing that happened in my world today? Start small and build over time. The thing is, the more you do this work, eventually you are likely to be triggered when writing. I don't say this to scare people, I say this to be transparent. And that is why we make the time to build the resource, to build that thing that you can come back to whenever you are triggered, that can help you to be with whatever you are experiencing. Now, the resourcing piece is very much a practice. So don't expect to jump into the subscription, do the meditation once, and to have your resource set in stone. No. It's like anything else. Practice over time will help you. And building on your resource will help you to build your capacity. And trust me, your body will tell you when it's ready and when you're pushing it too far. So as part of what I call embodied journaling, whenever we are triggered, we are not pushing through, we are not pushing feelings away. No. We are honoring what's going on in our bodies, and we go back to our resource and we accept the information, that communication from the body, we respect it, and doesn't mean that that topic, scenario, whatever is totally off limits forever. What it means is that at that point in time, for whatever reason, you're not ready to revisit that experience. And that is completely okay. You can come back in time. You don't have to. What I'm really passionate about here is how underutilized this insanely cost-effective tool is in our modern day society. Is it too simple? Is that the problem? I don't think so. I actually think the problem is that, and I'm not pointing fingers here because I've been one of these people, is that so many of us are in search of the magic pill, the quick fix. We don't want to do the work. But unfortunately, there are some things in life, really the most important things, let's be honest, where you just have to do the work. You have to show up for yourself. At a certain point, saying that you don't have time because you've got to take the kids or you've got to cook could be anything. You'd be surprised some of the excuses that I've heard from people. And when I say excuses, I'm not being harsh. I'm just saying that at a certain point, you have to take your self-care seriously. And the reality is, as you get older, and I'm talking from experience here, I'm 38 as I record this on the 23rd of July, 2025. If you don't put time aside for your self-care, your body will force you to. Mark my words, that's not fear-mongering. I'm just saying that prevention is the best way forward. So, If you've got 5 or 10 minutes while you're waiting for the kids to come out of footy or soccer or whatever it is, if you've got 5 or 10 minutes between meetings, if you've got 5 or 10 minutes before you head off to bed at night, please give journaling a go. See how it works for you. Take advantage of my 7-day free trial on my website, sarahkanata.com. Sarah is spelled S-A-R-A-H, Kanata is C-A-N-N-A-T-A. Apologies. Cancel anytime. You also get access to me via email, and I do my best to get back to people as soon as possible. I want you to communicate with me. I want you to experience what journaling can do for you. And reality is, it's not going to cost you barely anything. It's going to cost you a pen, a piece of paper, or something to type on that you've likely already got, like a smartphone or a laptop. And yes, I keep on going on about this because I am insanely passionate about journaling. And I see far too many people give up too easily just because it doesn't latch on the first try or the second try or the third try. Think about anything in your life that you would consider worth doing that was an achievement. Were you lucky? Were you a lucky snowflake where it just happened for you on the first try? If that's the case, amazing, good for you. But for the majority of us, like myself, we get better at things because we do them, because we put the time aside, put the effort in. We don't give up on ourselves. So, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back for another episode tomorrow. If you've got any questions about embodied journaling or the subscription, you are welcome to reach out to me via my website or email info@sarahkanata.com. Same spelling as before, SARAHCANNATA. I hope to hear from you, and happy journaling.